I'm 82 years old, and I see now how quietly fear can shape a life without you noticing it. I never thought of myself as a coward when I was younger, but looking back, I can trace every choice I made to it. Every step I took, every door I left closed, it was fear guiding my feet. Not loud, not dramatic, just steady, patient, convincing me that caution was wisdom.
When I was in my 20s, I thought I had time. There was always a tomorrow to say what I wanted, to make mistakes, to take chances. I worked in an office downtown, a small cubicle job, steady pay. I told myself it was responsibility. I told myself that hard work now would mean freedom later. And maybe it would have, in some sense. But freedom from what exactly? I didn't realize that in chasing security, I was also building walls around myself. I remember the mornings, leaving the apartment before the sun was fully awake, briefcase in hand, tie pulled tight. My wife, then girlfriend, would sit at the kitchen table, coffee in her hands, eyes tired but patient. She would suggest things, small adventures, trips somewhere simple, a walk through the park. I would nod, make a quiet excuse, and leave. Not enough time, I would say. Maybe next weekend. But the weekends became months, months became years, and the next weekend never came. By the time I hit 40, my career was solid. People respected me at work. Promotions, awards, recognition. I had all the external proof I thought I wanted. I convinced myself that the sacrifices were worth it. But inside, a quiet voice never went away. I noticed how my friends' lives were richer in ways I hadn't valued. They traveled, they argued and made up, they laughed in ways that stuck with you. I worked late nights, prepared reports, attended meetings I didn't care about, while my life outside the office quietly thinned. I didn't see the damage then. It was small, subtle. A birthday forgotten here, a conversation delayed there. My mother called me one night when I was 35. She had just come back from a hospital visit. She was frail, and I could hear it in her voice, a kind of exhaustion that wasn't just physical. I promised to come see her soon. I didn't go. Not that week, not that month. I told myself work was important, and when I finally visited, she had passed quietly in her sleep 2 days earlier. That was my first real glimpse of what fear and delay cost, and still I didn't fully understand. It wasn't until my 50s that the turning point came, though I didn't call it that at the time. My brother, just a few years younger than me, had been sick for a long time. I visited him once, a brief weekend. I was tired, he was tired. We made small talk, laughed awkwardly. I left thinking there would be another time, a better time. But he died 6 months later. I wasn't there. He was gone before I could say the things that mattered. No words, no laughter, nothing, just absence. I've spent the decades since that moment noticing how the fear didn't end, how it quietly defined everything. Relationships with friends thinned, not because we had fights, but because I kept choosing work, comfort, routine. I chose not to risk disappointment, not to ask for more,
not to challenge myself to be present in ways that mattered. It was safer that way, I thought. It wasn't. I see it now in the quiet of this apartment, the way the rooms feel larger than they should, emptier than they should. My wife passed 10 years ago. My children live far away, their lives full, leaving only occasional phone calls. I speak to them about trivial things, appointments, schedules, bills. We avoid the heavy stuff because it's uncomfortable, because it always was. And yet I ache to tell them the things I never did, to warn them about the life that waits if fear leads the way. Time doesn't ask for permission. Time just moves. It strips away opportunity with a gentle hand that feels like nothing, until one day it is everything. The moments you assumed would return never do. The voices you wanted to hear, the laughter you wanted to share, the embraces you thought you'd have, they vanish quietly. That's the hardest part, not the pain of a single loss, but the accumulation of all the tiny, unseen losses. I want to tell you about the evenings I spent alone, a cup of tea in my hand, staring out the window as the sun disappeared behind the buildings. I think about my brother, my mother, my wife, and the friends I let drift away. And I think about the fear that whispered, "Wait, wait, wait." Waiting seemed reasonable then, but now every day reminds me how unreasonable it was. I can't fix it, none of it. I can't turn back the clock and walk through the door I left closed. I can't hear her voice again. Can't tell my brother I loved him one more time. I can't make up for years of polite absences and careful choices that kept me from living. And that is the truth I live with, the one I carry quietly through my days. If you're willing, I want you to hear this. Fear can feel like a shield, but it is also a cage. It doesn't announce itself with a bang. It sits with you at the breakfast table. It follows you to meetings. It whispers in the quiet moments. It convinces you that there will be another chance, another day, another chance to speak, to move, to risk. There isn't always another day, and when you finally realize it, it's too late. I'm not asking you to chase reckless adventures. I'm not asking you to abandon responsibility or duty. I'm asking you to notice what you delay, to notice what you ignore, because the accumulation of small delays becomes a life you didn't mean to live. Sometimes I sit with a book I never read in my 20s. Sometimes I listen to music I didn't appreciate. Sometimes I watch old photographs of people I loved and see faces I forgot to memorize. And I think about what could have been different if I had chosen presence over fear, curiosity over caution, love over comfort. There's still time for some small things. I can write letters to my children now, though I know it isn't the same as being there. I can tell them stories of who I was, though I know they will only understand fragments. Time is generous in small ways, even when it is cruel in the big ones. I suppose the quiet lesson of my life is this: it is not the grand failures that define you, but the quiet, patient ones, the ones that slipped by while you were busy justifying, working, avoiding. And when you notice too late to fix most of it. But notice nonetheless. Notice before it is gone. I think about my remaining days as a series of slow, measured breaths. The apartment is quiet. The streets below are quiet. Even now I feel the fear that once guided me, but it is weaker, dulled by years. I am left with only memory and the ache of what never was. And maybe that is enough. Maybe it is all that will ever be enough. If this meant something to you, if these words find their way into your life, I hope you carry them quietly, not as a burden, not as a lesson to preach, but as a companion. Notice what you delay, listen to what you ignore, and do not assume there will be another time. I don't have many years left. I know it. I feel it in the slow rhythm of my heart, in the stiffness of my joints, in the emptiness of rooms once full of life. But I am still here, still speaking, still remembering. And if these words linger with you, then perhaps a part of my caution, my regret, my quiet understanding will linger too. It is heavy, this life, and quiet, and final. And I am ready, in the way one is never fully ready, to see it through, to sit with the losses, to remember what was, and to carry the rest, small and fragile, to the end.